Now that we've covered what a budget is, parts of a budget, different budgeting methods, and budgeting tools, you may be thinking, why doesn't everybody budget? And so I want to share with you some of the top complaints I've heard people say about budgeting. Some people say it just takes so long. Y sabes qué? Sitting down with your budget does. But if you find the right budgeting method for you, you're using tools that you like, then time should go by quickly. And keep in mind, it is better to take the time to budget than it is to be all stressed out, living paycheck to paycheck, and risking your financial security. Another common complaint I've heard is people say, I don't make enough money to start budgeting. And when I hear people say that, I just share my own personal story. I didn't start budgeting until I was married with 2 kids, living on disability checks because I was on medical leave. I had the least amount of dinero in my entire adult life. But starting to budget led me to become debt-free, build a 6-month emergency fund, and eventually get on track to retire early. No matter how much dinero you're making right now, it's never too late to start being intentional with that money so that you can build wealth ahora mismo. Reviewing your income, fixed expenses, and your flexible expenses is the first step to making sure that you feel empowered enough to make more money moves. Some people say, I don't like tracking my spending. And if that's you, don't. Use the cash envelope system or try the pay yourself first method. This is why we reviewed those 4 different budgeting methods, because you need to find a budgeting style that works for you, that's enjoyable for you, that's sustainable for you. Another reason people don't like to budget is because they say it makes them feel bad. Maldita pobreza, right? Sometimes it's really hard to deal with all your debt and to face some of your old choices, those choices that you made when you didn't have personal financial literacy. Because you can only do better when you know better. And now that you're here learning this información, you should take pride and be happy about all the different dinero decisions you're gonna make moving forward. Sometimes budgeting makes people feel bad because they feel like they're depriving themselves. And if that's you, you need to redo your budget ahora mismo. Whether that means increasing your income or changing the amount of money you give yourself for flexible expenses, do it. Budgeting is a skill that's developed poco a poco. You're not gonna change overnight, and you wanna make sure that your budget feels sustainable, or else you're just gonna quit. Give yourself at least 3 months before budgeting feels like a natural part of your routine. And remember, you can always rewrite it, always make adjustments. So make sure that your budget feels sustainable. Just like we have people who feel like they shouldn't budget because they make too little bit of money, there's also people who feel like they make so much money and that budgeting is just a waste of their time. If you're the type of person who has extra dinero at the end of every month, good. But you can still benefit from budgeting. You may want to try the pay yourself first method. You want to look at your spending and see, am I spending the amount that I want on my fixed expenses or my flexible expenses? Can that money be going to more savings? Am I investing enough so that I can retire early? It's important to budget because you want to be intentional with your dinero. You want to make sure that your spending is aligned with your financial goals and also your values. So no matter how much money you make sure that you are building financial security. And a budget allows you to do that. Let's review this lesson. The reward of budgeting consistently is financial security. So we encourage you to put in the time and effort to build this habit. Whether you feel you make too little money or a lot of money, budgeting will help you grow your wealth and achieve your financial goals faster. Experiment with different budgeting techniques so you find one that feels right for you. Shower yourself with grace and compassion as you slowly develop this new habit. Poco a poco, it does get easier. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're aware of some of the complaints that people say about budgeting so that you don't make them yourself. Now let's go create your first budget.